One Punch Man Webcomic Chapter 141. 40 pages of Genos versus these super cyborgs that are like insanely powerful. Like they're dragon level, they're basically as strong as the monster cadre, or probably somewhere fairly close to it. And Genos is insanely pissed off because they just killed Dr. Kuseno, his master, the doctor that always gives him upgrades, the one that has pretty much raised him since he's become a cyborg and everything like that. And we just get this crazy all-out battle. At the end of the last chapter, we saw them come in and kill the doctor. We thought this might have been a simulation in order to test Saitama's power, but it turns out that it's not. This actually happens. The monsters have killed Dr. Kuseno, and now they're going to eliminate, or try to eliminate, Genos. So obviously, Genos just like freaking loses his mind, right? Like, Dr. Kuseno was the person closest to him next to Saitama, and his human side, his emotions start to come out, and he just goes like completely berserk. A lot of this chapter is just straight up combat. And in the beginning, Genos is actually struggling quite a bit. We got this guy here, disaster level dragon, machine god body, disaster level dragon, machine god tech. Now these are all these super cyborgs are all from Metal Knight. And as Drive Knight has been explaining throughout the past couple chapters, Metal Knight is the reason behind your home village and everything being destroyed. This current arc stuff that's going on in One Punch Man right now is Genos' redemption arc. This is like his character arc going on. And we thought that maybe Drive Knight was playing Genos and he's actually the mad cyborg. But from what we've seen in this chapter, it seems like Drive Knight was telling the truth. So we don't know 100% for sure that Drive Knight is completely a good guy. Like, he actually very well may be the mad cyborg, but that's looking like less and less the case from this chapter. So let's continue. Now, Genos starts using all these different like core mechanics. I don't think we've really seen this before. He uses like scorching core, lightning core, all this sort of stuff. It seems to all have like some sort of like element of nature, like fire, wind, water, whatever. And at first he uses the scorching core and he just like comes in for a barrage. His body overheats and he's attacking this machine god body, but unfortunately it doesn't really do too much. Then he uses floating core and then super magnetic core. I actually really like the way that One is drawing this. Like, you know, obviously he's not the best artist, but he's one of the best storytellers. That's why Murata, who is one of the best artists, likes to, you know, redraw all this stuff. But over time, One has gotten progressively better in his art. He's still able to pull off some decent pictures here and there. So he uses this magnetic core and he basically creates this like giant spear of all this machinery. And so he attacks Machine God Body with this giant mecha arm thing, but that doesn't do anything either. So these machine gods that are coming out are just like ridiculously powerful. As I said, they're probably monster cadre level, maybe slightly under that. One of them saying that Genos has a luxurious ability, and if he can master it to perfection, he could aim for the top of the hero world. I don't know about that. I still think Tatsumaki and Blast are way out of reach, but perhaps he could match up with Bang at some point. His abilities are shifting his energy reaction flickers. A variety of countermeasures can be expected against monotonous brute force attacks. A multifaceted intermittent wave attack by all three of us should be effective simultaneously. Roger that, I'll join in, and all of the robot gods come in at Genos at once. At this point, Genos is kind of getting beat up. He's taking a lot of damage. And then he remembers what Dr. Kuseno said, and that, Genos, it's not that you're weak, it's just that the enemy is always too strong. So now he goes to freezing core, and it seems like he freezes Machine God Body in a block of ice. Then he uses lightning core, and he gets another one. Then he does high voltage tackle, and he gets the third one. And it's just a crazy all-out war right here. Now he uses roaring dragon core, which is basically like the Kaioken, I guess. It's like, the way they kind of explain it here is that he gives himself like 30 seconds. Like, he uses his max power. It's like just dumping all of his energy, and he's going to try and win the battle very quickly. And this is kind of nice for Genos because it kind of gives him like a different sort of final move rather than just exploding himself. Like, he can just tank his energy for, it's pretty much the Genos Kaioken, right? And I like this. So he comes in, he's like slamming and punching him. This one tries to use a sword slash. Genos breaks through it with a punch and punches the thing in the face. Love this shot of Genos right here as he's like powering up his hands and uses super incinerator cannon. So still, like, the heat isn't really doing anything to these guys. Like, they're just super tanky as well as strong. But then he uses Meteor Strike, This is another great picture here from one. He slams one down into the ground, and it seems like he completely destroyed that one. And another cool picture here of Genos. I mean, so like one really has good storyboarding levels down, right? Like, yes, the art isn't top of the game, but like his paneling is great. I mean, just like the way he has different kind of combat angles, the way he's using the camera, the way he's like even here with Genos, it's kind of like this slow motion. He just defeated one of them and he's holding his fist like it's the badass moment. So, I mean, I gotta hand it to one. He did a really great job on this, and it's 40 pages long. So now all the robots combine into one, and this is like the triple machine god fusion going on here. And they're basically just like trading like machine gun blows, but Genos is running out of time, and so he finally hits with Final Smash, which breaks off his left arm, but it destroys this machine god fusion. So Genos is like above dragon level. Like this dude just went so ham when Dr. Kuseno was killed. He completely lost his mind, and probably just like having that ability to have emotion, being a cyborg, actually gives him the upper hand in a lot of cases. So he only has 9% energy remaining, and then we see that 5 more super robots appear, but then we see someone walking in their bare feet, and that's our boy Saitama, who says, "You take the rear," wearing his Speedos there. So he was like in this machine that was supposed to be testing his strength. Unfortunately, Dr. Kuseno didn't actually get to see what Saitama's true strength was. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. I mean, we kind of know what Saitama's true strength is, but like we still don't really know like the actual source of Saitama's power. So I was kind of hoping we get a little bit of information there. Unfortunately, we didn't. And as Saitama walks towards these machine gods, they're just like attacking him. Obviously, it's like doing absolutely nothing. And then we get this super awesome picture here from one. Don't even see any punches at a Saitama, and he literally just walks right through and crushed all of those machines. And so it's too late for Dr. Kuseno. He's actually still alive, just barely. He's like dying. And what he tells Genos is that if you go to the basement, there's a capsule in there, and if you go in the capsule, it'll equip your ultimate armor that I always hid as a secret weapon, along with your body's latest system upgrade. It's very strong. So Genos, as strong as he is right now, who just defeated 3 dragon-level robots and a fusion between the 3, is going to get another upgrade. So, like, I assume Genos is going to be jumping up to, like, maybe the number 6, number 5 spot, like, around there after he gets these upgrades. Now, my question is, if Dr. Kuseno dies, what happens if Genos breaks apart or loses an arm or something? Can he go in this capsule and repair him? Or can Genos just not afford to take damage anymore? Like, who's going to repair him now if he gets hurt? If Dr. Kuseno's dead? I don't know. I'm assuming he has some sort of repair capsule or something like that. And there we go. We see Genos is like, I guess it's like his final form, his final robotic suit of armor. And obviously he's going to use this to go up against the Mad Cyborg, which will probably come in a few chapters. This is the Genos arc, which is pretty exciting. Like, he's finally going to get his revenge, the things he's been talking about ever since he was introduced. And so now Genos is going to destroy Metal Knight's research facility, which should be housing the Mad Cyborg, unless, very small chance, that Drive Knight is actually the real Mad Cyborg, and he's been kind of playing Genos, but you know, as I said before, I'm thinking that's less and less the case as we go further into these chapters. But then as they're walking, they see like some explosions in the city, and that's when you see this army of super cyborgs that are invading the city. So Drive Knight like spilled the beans on like pretty much what Metal Knight's whole plan is, and he kind of just like wants to throw the world into chaos by sending out this army of super soldiers who are, I guess, I don't know if these are all dragon level, but I think you're supposed to assume that if the ones that just fought Genos are. So this is really heating up. I mean, obviously Saitama could just run through and kill all these things, but what's going to happen? Is Blue going to come in here? Because there is a picture here of Blue who's seeing this happen, so maybe we get to see Blue at full power in the next webcomic chapter. If that's the case, maybe Genos and Saitama just straight up go to Metal Knight's research facility and have some crazy fights there. Now, as cool as this is, if Saitama's going to be with Genos, it's kind of like I almost don't want Saitama to be with Genos here because it's like too easy. Like, this is Genos' time to get his revenge, and if he ever starts losing against anybody, if Saitama's there, you know that Saitama can save the day. He can just one punch anything, and I doubt that any of these robots could even come close to giving Saitama a challenge. I mean, we very well may get maybe the Mad Cyborg is going to be like Boros level or something like that. May get some sort of Garo versus Saitama fight with the Mad Cyborg, but I feel like that should be Genos's. So like, what's Saitama going to be doing the whole time? Maybe he gets distracted by something else going on. Maybe he's off fighting someone else, but like, I want Genos. I want to see Genos at full power versus the Mad Cyborg. So overall, pretty cool chapter. I enjoyed this. I'm really excited to see more. Sometimes one will do 2 chapters like in a row, like very, very quickly. And sometimes it takes like a month or 2 for him to do a chapter. I think he just kind of does it at his own leisure. I'm not really sure about that. I just found a whole bunch of really fun One Punch Man fan animations like Saitama vs. Blast and Garo vs. S-Rank heroes. So later this week, I'm going to be reacting to like a whole bunch of them in a single video. So if you want to see something like that, please subscribe and click that notification bell below. I'm Mastar, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.